Deadwax. What's up, all you babes in Toyland, and welcome to the Deadwax Show with Waffles and the Stooge. Get out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. I am Waffles, also as Chicken and Waffles Forever, and I am joined by my older brother, best friend, the Stooge. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Just, one day removed from Christmas as we're recording this. I had a nice, relaxing day, and that trend's continuing on into this day. So I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Like you said, we're recording one day after Christmas, and maybe it's because of the pandemic. Time has not seemed real this year, and it's weird to me to think that Christmas was yesterday because I still feel like I'm processing half of this year. Like where we live, it snowed a good amount outside, and it's like it's all snowy and white. But I'm like, how is it winter? I don't understand. How did Christmas already happen? So there you go. But it was a great Christmas. I got tons of great records, and one thing I did is all of the records I either bought for myself or received as gifts, almost all of them, I saved up and I didn't touch any of them until Christmas morning. So I had like a stack, which was fun. That was a fun.
How thick was that stack? How were we talking?
So including the ones I bought from you, there was, I believe, 14 records.
Oh,
so
wow.
That size, yeah.
With
a few gatefolds in there, so it,
ups it a little, yeah.
Ups it just a few millimeters for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Centimeters perhaps. But anyway, it was rad. There was a few of those that like took some restraint. Because like a couple of those, I think I had ordered 6 months ago. So they got here and I had to like set them to the side by my tiny Christmas tree and be like, someday I'll get to open you. Someday. Yeah.
Nice. That's tough. That's some real self-control there.
I mean, it's no by November, which is a funny sentence to say out loud. It's no by November. Anyway, but it was the Waffles version of no by November was don't open December.
No open December. There you go.
Exactly. It's
you can buy all you want, but just don't open them.
Exactly. It's just like me with my body to lactose. It's not open until December. But yeah, glad to hear your Christmas is good though. And for everybody listening, whether you celebrate any holiday, whether you don't celebrate a holiday, we love you regardless, and we're glad you're alive. This is where we take the picture.
The thumbs up.
That's the screenshot, and that's what we put everywhere. Is that we're glad you're alive. Celebrate a holiday or not, we don't care.
Yeah, sometimes the holidays can be tough for some people.
Absolutely.
Because the overall general feel of the holiday is like, oh, surrounded by loved ones and good food and gifts and stuff like that. And some people don't get all that. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think social media can really like throw gasoline on that fire because you see everybody, with their loved ones or opening presents. There were some years in my family growing up where we had basically no money. So it was like for Christmas, we're all making gifts and we're all going to be nice to each other. And that's Christmas. So I completely understand that it's not everyone's favorite time of year.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember like 1 or 2 Christmases. What we had to do is so it was my parents. My dad was the only one working at the time, and there's 6 kids. They just bought a house, and money was really tight. And so like for Christmas, they took us to the dollar store, and like they would make us pick like dollar store gifts for Christmas. So we had something at least.
Exactly.
But that's the kind of stuff still goes on, and yeah, it's tough.
Exactly. And same thing. It's regardless of what holiday you celebrate, life is not about things. It's about being happy and being with people you love. So if someone got a new car and a new house, congratulations. If you got something from the dollar store, congratulations. Still as good of a day.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we got deep on the pod today. We just talk about records usually, and here we are giving like emotional
like fart jokes. Yeah.
Exactly. It's usually just like, hey, guess what? Poop. And then today we're talking about deep emotional things.
Waffles chokes on his own spit or something. And,
it'll happen. It'll happen. It happens
we'll
every
see.
episode. Yeah.
Over under. Should we do over under on this one, like 30 minutes, and see like is it the
good
first
question.
half? Second?
Let us know in the comments. When do you think I'm gonna choke on my spit? I just get so excited talking to you that my mouth fills with liquid and I begin to drown while sitting here. It's
You're
insane.
like Pavlov's dog when I get on the camera, huh?
Exactly. Just salivating. Crazy. In fact, really quick side note on that. I swear it's really quick. Our buddy Ryan, I hang out with him every now and then, and when I swear every time we get together, I bring pizza to their house, and their sweet oldest son, he always says, "Chris and pizza," and I feel like I've created a Pavlovian response where he expects me to have pizza every time he sees me, and it's come to the point where now I'm like, if I don't bring pizza, he's gonna be pissed. So
it's like he hears your voice and he starts to get hungry. He's like,
pizza!
"Why am I hungry?
Exactly.
Why am I
Exactly. It's insane.
Or
All
they show a picture of you. He's like,
And
starts
he's
to salivate.
That's how they get him to eat, is that they've just got a picture of me. Exactly. Anyway,
That's hilarious.
we'll talk about records finally on the Deadwax show. So what we're going to talk about today, everybody, is we're ending 2021. Thank goodness. But we're looking forward to the next year, 2022. And already there's tons of cool stuff coming up next year that we can be looking forward to. But since we're talking records on the show, we're going to be talking records right here. What albums, or maybe even like rumors of an album, you know, like we've heard this band might be coming out with an album next year that we're excited for. So Stooge, do you have any ready to go that you're ready to talk about?
I went ahead and made a list. I did some research, you know. Some of these I just wrote down a couple.
Okay.
But there are a few albums I'm looking forward to next year. Music related, there's a few things I'm looking forward to as well that aren't albums. But let me go ahead. I wrote down 3 albums I am looking forward to for next year. 2 of them are by the same artist. And I think people probably know which ones those are.
But who could it be?
So the first 2 albums I'm looking forward to next year is Afraid of the Dawn and Entering Heaven Alive by Jack White. Those are 2 different albums that he's already announced. I've pre-ordered one of those albums, Afraid of the Dawn, because they have been released on several different cool-looking variants.
Yeah.
So I pre-ordered the album. For some reason, Entering Heaven Alive, which is the later release for the year, is only on black so far. And maybe they're waiting. Maybe they'll do a vault. I don't know. Third Man does vault subscriptions. Maybe they'll do a vault with them. I'm hoping they do a vault with both of them, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
However, either way, I'm gonna get those albums. You know, I'm a huge Jack White fan. So I'm looking forward to those 2 albums, which I think, you know, just given Jack White's history of music, I'll more than likely enjoy the hell out of them. So those are the 2 of the albums I'm looking for. The third one is actually an album by Fife Dog, and if you don't know who Fife Dog, and I'm if you don't know who Fife Dog is, he was one of the members of A Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, okay.
And he passed away about over 5 years ago now.
Oh.
It's been a little over 5 years. He always had health issues. I think he had like diabetes and stuff like that too. And anyways, so he passed unfortunately about 5 years ago, and he was actually working on an album before he passed, and they were able to finally pull it together and, you know, get it all pieced together, the album, to where they feel comfortable releasing it next year. The album's gonna be called Forever. It's by Fife Dog. I love A Tribe Called Quest. Everything they do is they did is great. Yeah. And Fife Dog is a big piece of that group. And I just really looking forward to this album to see what they put together. It's a how do you say it? Posthumous release.
Posthumous,
again. Yeah. It's posthumous, and so it'll I think it'll be great. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's those are just 3 albums I'm looking forward to. I'll turn it over to you real quick. What albums are you looking forward to?
Okay, so there's a bunch, because lots of people have been writing during the pandemic.
And you have a lot of bands that you really love.
I listen to a lot of bands, yeah. But in fact, so I've contained it to a few, because I could go on for this about an hour.
Yeah, I bet.
I love your favorite, deathcore, and which those listening who do not know is a mix of death metal and either metalcore or hardcore, and it's beautiful.
Is that the puke metal?
Yes. So it's a mix of puke metal and cat kicking. It's a mix of the 2.
Oh, it's a mix of the 2. Okay.
But on one day in January, four very big hitters in deathcore are all releasing albums, and it's
In
going to be
January?
on the same day. I
Jeez
believe
Louise.
it's
Dang.
I think maybe the second or third Friday in January. Anyway,
Mhm.
one band I'll just start off. I don't love, but they're releasing one is Fit for an Autopsy. But they're very big in deathcore. They're not my thing, but like lots of people do love them. But the bands I am excited about, Shadow of Intent is releasing their album Elegy. Worm Shepherd is releasing their album, which is called Ritual Hymns. And then Enterprise Earth is releasing their album. And I forget the name of that one, but that's all going to be on the same day. And
Wow.
I'm shaking. I'm so excited because I'm hoping some of the vinyl shows up on time. We'll see. In the world of vinyl collecting nowadays, hardly ever do you get the record when it comes out, you know. So
Yeah.
so we'll see. But that'll be an exciting thing. And then I believe a week after, there's a band I love called Great American Ghost. That's a hardcore band, and they're putting out a record. And another band I'm excited about that I've just heard like the same thing, rumors. They released an EP this year is Lorna Shore. This is their old logo, so people in the comments, please be nice to me. But they put out an EP this last year, which I guarantee you have heard the audio from on TikTok. It's the guy that sounds like he's screaming like a goblin.
That's
Ringing
all
any
of them.
bells? Okay, that's all of them.
Who's the disrespect your surroundings? What's
That's
that?
a day to remember. Yeah,
A day to remember? Hey,
yeah.
that's
So the guy in Lorna Shore, I'm trying to think if I could even impersonate it.
let's
But
hear it. Let's try.
okay,
Let's try.
I'm gonna hold the microphone like this. Wait, this way. There, this way, because I don't want to like hurt your ears. But he sounds like this. And then there's like guitars and stuff. So if you haven't heard it, I sound crazy.
Wow, with such a unique sound, I'm wondering how I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, could be true. Anyway, they put out a 3-song EP. That band has a little bit of trouble with its members, so he's their third vocalist. Fortunately, he sounds like a demon. So it's
What's the name
beautiful.
again?
Lorna Shore.
Lorna
You can't.
Shore.
I would say it's right here, but you can't really read it.
Yeah,
Lorna Shore.
I can't interpret
Actually,
it.
this is one of the more readable logos in metal, which is funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, their 3-song EP that came out this year. A lot of the music sites have rated it the best EP of the year because it was so huge for metal. It's like one of the most streamed deathcore songs ever, and it only came out a few months ago, so that's a super big deal. Anyway, they should have an album next year. That's like the rumor is that Lorna Shore should have an album in 2022. Their vocalist used to be in a band called Awaken Providence, and I believe he is now just in Lorna Shore. He's this adorable. He's probably only like 100 pounds soaking wet, big old gauges. He's got curly hair and the throat of a demon. So
the throat of a demon.
The throat of a demon. Will Ramos. Will Ramos, if you ever happen to see this, my DMs are open. Like platonic romantic relationship we can have. Anyway,
that's like I don't think that works.
I think it does. It's like what you and I have. Anyway, I am really, really excited for that. That'll be great. And then another one that I've heard rumor of is there is a punk band, feminist punk band called War on Women that I adore. That band is fantastic. And I believe they should have new music out next year, which would be great. If you've never listened to War on Women, or if you're into feminist music at all, it is the freaking bomb. They kill the game. So stream nice. War on Women. Yeah.
War on Women.
War on Women. They're great.
It's ironic, I guess, the title.
Yeah, that's the joke is that society itself creates a war on women, and it's their job to fight in that.
So another something like I want to also mention that's coming out in January. It's not like a release, but if you're a record collector, Anderson .Paak, they have a record store day issue of the album Malibu coming out. That's on a really cool like orange splatter. I believe that's the 22nd or the 28th of January that's coming out. Oh, so wow. If you like Anderson .Paak, if you like that album, that's something I wanted to mention. Just that I thought of as you were sitting here talking about your deathcore bands and everything, and doing your goblin impressions. Um,
It was so
and
bad.
then transitioning from music releases to other things music wise, specifically concerts. I've already got tickets to a couple of concerts coming up this year in 2022.
Yep.
Really looking forward to. You and I are going to go be seeing Jack White.
Yep.
Here in Utah. Really excited for that. I've never seen him before, and this will be my first time. Excited to see him. I also got tickets to see the Strokes with the Red Hot Chili Peppers down in Las Vegas. Be sick. Super excited for that. And then the number one I'm looking forward to is Rage Against the Machine.
Heck yeah.
In Oakland. I am just hoping against all hopes that there's not some other crazy variant that comes out that starts shutting everything down again. Omicron's getting a little serious. But I just man, I've been waiting forever to see Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, man.
And I just hope I get to see them next year, and I'm so looking forward to that show. Like I said, I will probably cry, and I will also probably get in a fist fight just because I think that's what you're supposed to do at a Rage Against the Machine concert. So,
okay, here's a question for you: what Rage song are you most excited to see live? That's a tough one.
Yeah. I think the crowd, I think it's going to be like, so as a pro wrestling fan,
okay,
there's a term that's used, and I don't know if they use it in other cultures, whatever you want to call it.
I'm excited.
But a crowd pop. A crowd pop is when like something happens and the crowd just loses their shit.
Yeah.
So like for instance, in wrestling, let's say a wrestler who's beloved by everybody makes a sudden return, like he's been gone for a while and then he returns, like the crowd just goes nuts. That's really adds to the excitement. I think the crowd's really going to lose their mind when they play Killing in the Name.
Yeah.
And so I think the audience get turned up to 12 on that one. So I'm really looking for, even though it's not my favorite Rage song, I'm looking forward to that a lot. I really hope, like, one of my favorite Rage Against the Machine songs is Maggie's Farm.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's a remake. Is it like I can't remember, is it like a Bob Dylan song? I can't remember who wrote that song.
Maybe it's Bob Dylan. I don't remember.
I can't remember either who.
But it is a cover song. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is a cover. But they make that song freaking badass.
Yeah, they
do. Bulls on Parade, of course. Looking, there's just anything, that they play. I'm honestly,
that'll be fun.
I hope this happens, but I really don't know that they have some kind of new album.
Maybe. You never know.
It's just they've had all this free time. I know they don't get along the best, or else they would still will have been a band for the last 15, 20 years. But man, that'd just be so great. And
for sure.
Anyways, yeah. So I am looking forward to that more than anything in 2022. Yeah. And my wife's pregnant. And I'm just kidding. She's not pregnant.
That would have been a twist. This is the announcement is on the pod. Oh my gosh.
And I said,
I'm looking forward
to that, to the Rage Against the Machine more than the birth of a kid.
I would kill to see Rage play the song "Sleep Now in the Fire" live. Like, I love that song, and oh my gosh, it'd be great live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think all of it's gonna be great live.
It will. Rage will be insane. Good for you, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I go to a lot of concerts, so there's a lot that I'm planning on going to, but just a couple that I'm stoked on. The band, one of my favorite bands, The Wonder Years, is going on tour, and they are playing their best 2 albums all the way through. And they have all of their supporting acts are some of my other favorites. So it's literally just going to be me screaming like a high-pitched eel the whole time because I'm going to be losing my freaking mind.
Does eels scream?
Sure. They're underwater. Can you scream underwater?
Yeah, whales do it.
That's true, huh? Dolphins do it too.
This blew your mind, didn't it?
Yeah. We need to get a whale death metal band. Actually, that already exists. They're called Gojira. Anyway, The Wonder Years is playing. That's going to be super fun. Another favorite band, Me Without You, is going on tour for the last time ever. This is their finale tour, and So here's a quick story of Chris crying. There's gonna be lots of stories about Waffles crying in this episode, so get ready. But I did not grow up loving the band Me Without You. If, for those who don't know, Me Without You is a post-hardcore band, but they use spoken word for their vocals, and it is beautiful. I did not love them growing up because I never really like gave them an attempt, but as an adult, I absolutely fell in love with Me Without You. Anyway, in 2019, they announced that they're done as a band. They've been around for 20 years. They were like, we're old. We don't want to do this anymore, so we're going to go on one final tour. And I did not go. And then freaking coronavirus hit. So they were like, well, the tour's canceled, everybody. And so there was this like looming, are you gonna quit still? Like, you didn't play your last tour. And then they announced they were going to play Furnace Fest, which was a festival in Alabama that I even had tickets to.
I remember that.
And then I wasn't very smart and didn't save my money properly, and I didn't have enough money to actually get there and have a hotel and food and stuff. I had the tickets, but I didn't have money for a plane and a hotel and a car. So I unfortunately had to sell my tickets to Furnace Fest. Well, that was going to be Me Without You's last concert ever. And I was very sad I did not go. However, Me Without You canceled on Furnace Fest. So they didn't play that. And then it was like,
Lucky.
oh, dang. So I'm just never going to see them. And then they announced their final tour ever. And when they announced they were coming to Salt Lake City, I started crying because I was like, I never thought I'd get to see Me Without You. So that'll be fun.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it was the Rage.
Exactly. And you gave 3, so I'll give another one. Another one I'm stoked for is Turnstile is coming to town. And there's been lots of talk about Turnstile these days. They are...
Everyone's talking about them.
Everyone's talking about them.
The band's huge.
They're going to be huge. Your Donald Trump is so much better than mine. Like,
it's not very good.
And I can do Mickey Mouse, but I can't do Donald Trump. This is a curse on my life. Anyway, Turnstile. They are in the world of hardcore. Some have said they're not a hardcore band anymore, which whatever, I don't care. But they put out a very big record. And the Stooge is laughing because I got into a fight with somebody.
I have video of it too.
He's got video. We don't need to talk about it. He's still one of my closest friends. Love you, Ray. Anyway, but they're coming to town, and their lineup is insane. So that'll be a super fun show. And I've never seen Turnstile, so it'll be super fun. But I keep a list on my phone of all the concerts I'm planning on going to, and it's quite long already. Mm-hmm. In fact, oh my gosh, want to hear a cool thing? So Christmas. One thing, my parents are so sweet and they're adorable because they were like, just as an adult, they're like, just tell us what you want. What do you want? We'll give it to you. And so my parents are not rich whatsoever. My parents are both like in trade jobs, so they're very hardworking people. But one thing that I found that I felt comfortable if we went on it together, because I did not want them to pay for the whole thing because they couldn't pay for the whole thing, was in Utah. There is such a thing as a golden ticket where for a certain amount of money, you can go to any show at 2 different venues, regardless of how many tickets are sold. So that was like my big thing for Christmas was I now have a ticket to any show at these 2 venues that I frequent already that I don't have to pay for a ticket to. I can just be there. Even if they're sold out, I can still go. It's so sick.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
So there you go. 2022. The world could end and it'd be better than 2021.
2021, man. Remember we were coming out of 2020, we were like, oh, it can't be worse. And then, oh man.
Seriously. Like 2021, I would say has been the hardest year of my life, but it's been the best year of my life because I met you.
See, it's been hard. It's been hard for me too. I'd say it's probably one of the harder years of my life as well.
It's been tough.
So, it's been tough. Yeah.
But you know what? We always end on upsetting topics before we transition. So final thought, 2022 is going to be great.
I'll do the fingers crossed.
There you go. Do the thing with your fingers. Do that thing. Ew! How do you do that?
It's not weird. It barely bends. I got short, stubby fingers.
You say you've got short, stubby fingers. Mine don't bend like yours.
But look at that thing, man. That's why I never could play the guitar. My fingers are too short.
You're the Olivia Rodrigo of double jointed people.
Oh, that is high praise.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Shows how much I love you.
All
Anyway,
right.
anything else in 2022 you're looking forward to?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, me neither.
Nothing. Rage. That's it.
Rage and Jack White.
Lots of rage.
Lots of rage.
Are you ready, my friend?
I am super ready.
Trivia for this week.
Yes.
So it's the end of the year.
Okay.
And I thought, well, we should do trivia on somebody who's had a big impact on music this year. And so, what I did is I looked up who had the highest selling album of the year.
Oh, okay.
And so I found out that this year, I don't know if she sold the most copies, but she had the biggest opening week of any artist, and that would be Adele.
Okay.
She sold, like, in week 1, I think it was close to 900,000 copies.
That's insane.
That's
insanity.
Music.
Yeah.
So, and you can see, oh, I got to turn the other way. There she is back there. I have one of them.
There she is.
So, I thought it would be really cool to do the trivia on Adele.
Okay.
Also, to spread the love, we've done a lot of thing on men. So
yeah, amen. Let's do it. And I know a bit of Adele. I'm not completely in the dark about Adele.
Yeah. And doing research, like, I've always known, like, Adele was big and popular and successful. But just seeing the numbers on some of these things, it just
sure.
wow. Jeez Louise. Yeah. Anyways, so Adele, if you get less than 5, you are, what should we say?
Rolling in the deep.
And if you get higher than 5, what should we call it? What should we say you are?
I'm gonna be setting fire to the rain if I get more than 5.
Okay,
that one sucks, but it was the only one I could think
of. You could be a rumor.
Good job. Let's go with that. Much better.
All right. So, are you ready to do this, Chris?
I'm ready.
Waffles. All right.
Go easy on me.
I will. You're just a child. So, question number 1.
Okay.
How many albums has Adele put out?
4, right?
Correct.
Yeah, 19, 21, 25, and 30.
There you go. Knocked it out. Question number 2. You're 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
I need to get my points keeping track. Sorry, I do this every time.
Yeah, you do.
I'm 2 for 2. Oh my gosh.
That's the best start you've ever had.
Ever. And I listen to the other bands way more than I do her, so that's
All right, so what is her best-selling album?
21.
Yes, 21. Do you know how many copies that has sold?
Oh, yikes.
If you had to guess.
If I had to guess, I'm so bad at number stuff. I'm just going to say like 3 million.
Well, if you multiplied that by 10, you'd be closer.
30 million?
Yeah, she sold 31
insanity.
million. So that album, 21, has sold 31 million. It is the highest selling album of the 21st century so far.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Good for Adele.
Overall, it's the 19th highest selling album ever.
Of all time?
Of all time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought it would have been funny if it was like the 21st highest of all time.
That would have been funny. But 19 was a good album too. Yeah.
19's a good album.
Yeah.
Anyways, so for what? So 21 was album of the year.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, or it sold the most. Sorry, it wasn't album of the year. It sold the most records or albums 2 years in a row. It was the highest selling. There we go. It was the highest selling album 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Which years were those?
Oh gosh. So I can do this with math because they're the age.
I thought you sucked at math.
I do. So wish me the best. I'm going to say 2011 and 2012.
Ooh, the math is strong with this one.
Is that right?
Correct.
Hey. See, that's the genius of her just putting her age for the numbers of the albums. Genius.
Makes it easier.
It makes it easier for those out there that are doing trivia. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so you missed one. You missed the how many
I've got
copies?
4 points so far. Yeah.
4 out of 5. Okay, here we go. Question number 6.
Okay.
Adele has an Academy Award for this.
Oh, is it for the song from Skyfall?
What is the category? You know the official category?
Best song in a movie. Best original song in a movie.
There you go.
Okay,
I'll let you have it.
Thank you.
Best original song. And
do you know what's so pathetic? My very first answer was best supporting song.
Best supporting song.
Best supporting
song in a film.
Exactly. Meanwhile, I'm winning the award for worst supporting bra. Anyway.
Yeah. So you were right on the. My next question was going to be which film was it for?
Oh, it's for Skyfall.
And you already said it.
Man, I'm killing it today.
Yeah, you are.
Skyfall, I think, is still the best modern James Bond movie, and I said it. It's so good.
It's a good one. Have you seen No Time to Die?
I did. I saw it with Scott.
That's a good one.
Did you cry at the end?
I did feel emotions. Yes, I did not have water come from my eyes.
Next time we see Scott, ask him about it. I've never seen someone cry so hard. It was insane. And that's coming from Stooge. That's coming from me.
Yeah, from you. It was a good movie though. I enjoyed it.
It was great. No Time to Die was fantastic. And real quick, the song by Billie Eilish in it was great.
Yeah. Next question.
Okay.
XL Recordings discovered Adele on which social media platform?
Ooh. I'm gonna guess YouTube.
That is wrong, my friend.
Ooh, I don't know the story.
MySpace. So
that's how old that is?
Yeah.
Holy bananas.
So Adele, after she graduated from some art school, she recorded some songs and a demo, and her friend posted the demo onto MySpace, and one of the execs at XL Recordings came across it and reached out to her, and she actually thought it was maybe a scam. And so
that's funny,
because at the time she'd said she'd never heard of XL Recordings, and so when she went to go meet, she brought a friend with her just to make sure.
That is so funny. Like it's an online date. I love that.
So yeah, MySpace.
What a crazy story! I did not know that.
Yep. How many times has Adele appeared on SNL?
And we're including host and musical artist?
We're including host and music. Very good.
Oh, gosh.
Hosting and musical guest.
The only reason I know she's hosted is because there's that clip where she goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, her." Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to guess 5.
Oh, too much. It was actually only 3. She's
it's only been 3 altogether.
Hosted once and yeah, you got to also remember, like, she's only come out with 4 albums, you know?
True.
And so anyways, another thing to consider when considering how successful she's been is just how massive her releases. Yeah.
That's insane.
I forgot to mention too, 25 is the 4th highest selling album of the 21st century.
That's
so she's got number 1 and 20.
Yeah.
And number 1 and 4. Anyways.
I don't really know 25. So that's interesting to me that one sold so much.
Here we go. Last question. Actually, I got 2 more questions. One's a bonus.
Good.
How many Grammys has Adele won?
Oh gosh. That's gonna be the insane answer. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
If anybody's seen the show Big Mouth, that sounds like Rick from Big Mouth. How you going, Bobby? Okay. I'm just I don't even know what to guess. 15.
That's correct.
No way! Oh my gosh! No freaking way!
You cheated. You've got someone feeding you the answers off camera.
I have an Adele shrine that has all her Grammy count. That's insane. Because the second I said 15, I was like, that's way too many. There's no way. That's crazy.
Yeah, she's got a lot of Grammys too. And then the last question.
Okay.
According to Adele herself, what is the album 30 about?
Divorce, babe. Divorce.
I
love you so much. Get everyone watching this. Get you a best friend that understands waffles like the Stooge does. That is so funny. Just for those who don't know the joke, The Adele went live on Instagram one time and like 30 memes got made out of it. And there's one part that I think is the funniest thing in the world where she was reading a question. She said, "What's the new album going to be about?" Divorce, babe, divorce. And I love it. You're the best.
So
Thank you.
I got no problem.
I got 8 points in that game.
So you're
I'm
you're
a rumor. Is that what we decided?
Yeah, I think you're a rumor. Good job.
And that I think is the first game where you have not given me a pity point. So thank you. And
Nor
also,
did we have to go into fractions.
No math was needed.
Whole numbers.
That was a great game. Whole numbers. I'm gonna sound so stupid. Is that what integers are?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I
The most amount of math
not a math
I needed
major
for my
either.
bachelor's degree was 9th grade math. So I'm not one to ask.
I got up to calculus and I dropped out.
Yeah, math does not compute with me whatsoever. In fact,
I understood imaginary numbers.
I
understood that. And it's just when they got to calculus, it's just like
that's
like
so
completely like I couldn't even hang. Like I'm not grasping these concepts. Like it's
I can dissect a sentence like none other, but you add a letter into a math problem and it does not work with my brain. My brain does not work like that. In fact, not even just like on paper. I have a bad time guessing like how many people are in a crowd. I'm terrible at that stuff.
That's different from
numbers. That's numbers. Anyway.
All right. There you go.
I'm a rumor. That was a great game, my man.
Rumor has it.
No, rumor has it. Didn't 21 have like 5 #1 songs on it or something like that?
It had a lot. I think at one point I was reading her Wikipedia, like she had 3 different songs in the top 10 at one time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, or anybody, if you don't know this, in the comments, let me know if I'm wrong. I think only 2 artists ever have had 5 or 6 #1 singles from one album, and one's Katy Perry.
What? Really?
On Teenage Dream, she had 5 #1 songs.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so there you go. I think the other one was Michael Jackson, so that one makes sense. But Catherine Beth Terry, yeah, she's. Ooh, look at you!
I was doing some
Michael Jackson moves. Yeah. Billie Jean, she ain't Joe Leva.
No,
she's just a girl who says that I'm the one. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Kid ain't my son. So let's go to the Q&A section of the Deadwax show. The first question comes from No Life Till Records, and he says, "How did y'all get to be so handsome?" I think, you're welcome to give your thoughts. I think it's a lack of vegetables.
I think, Chris, I see you wear glasses. Do you have like an optometrist you can recommend to this this follower, this listener?
Yeah.
Clearly, he's got something wrong with his vision.
Excuse me? Maybe on your side of the camera, fam. Gosh. That was a very legitimate question we got, but I don't care for the Q&A portion. So No Life Till Records. I love you to death.
Who was that again? No Life
Till Records. Yeah. Okay, some actual questions. First one comes from
your kind question.
Thank you for your self-esteem question was fantastic. Tony's Turntable is our first question.
Wicca, wicca.
And he asks, did you say wicca wicca? like a turntable?
Whenever I heard turntable.
Wicca wicca.
Wicca wicca.
I love it. Your house is on fire and you can grab one record. What is it? It's a great question.
Why don't you go first? You probably thought about it a little bit.
I have thought about this. This is I want to give 2 answers. But I've already talked about one in the pod, so I feel like I'm just like beating a dead horse. So I will give 2 answers because I have every right. First one,
and then you die in the fire because you.
And then I die in the fire because it took too long. The first one is Volume 4 by Black Sabbath because that's my favorite record my dad gave me. So I would like jump straight for that one because it means the most to me. But the second one, maybe just one of my favorite albums ever. I can't think of my second one, so will you give yours and then I'll maybe think of the second one?
Let me see if I can find mine. I think it's too low. It would be. Here you go, Chris. This is for you.
Okay. No way! Oh my gosh! Yeah, you should save that one
because we've got to preserve this for when we get the records and we're able to summon Fred Durst.
For those who aren't watching and just listening, Stooge, what record did you grab?
Significant Other by Limp Bizkit.
That's freaking right, you did.
But that's not the real one. Let me see if I can find it. Why don't you keep talking, Stooge?
Okay. Did you just say why don't you keep talking, Stooge?
I mean, Waffles.
Okay. You could be talking
I
to
suck
yourself.
at this.
I'm not here to judge. Oh, I know what mine would be. Just because it was really big for me to get into metal, it would be Nocturnal by the Black Dahlia Murder.
Ooh, nice.
Literal perfect album. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic
What's
record.
it called? Nocturnal by the Black Dahlia?
Nocturnal by the Black Dahlia Murder.
Mm.
One of the best bands on the planet is the Black Dahlia Murder. Ooh, baby, 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 baby. He's picking Led Zeppelin. He's picking Led Zeppelin.
It's the greatest hits, like Volume 1, the early days.
Yeah.
I love this album.
Heck yeah.
And it's got all the great hits from the early days. Plus, the album cover's awesome. It cost a lot of money for me to get.
Yeah.
Shout out to Econo Jam in Oakland, California for having it.
Sponsor us.
But yeah, when I think of everything else, I mean, I feel like a lot of my collection can be replaced. There's definitely some things that would be hard to replace.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would be one of the harder ones just because there's not a whole lot of them out there.
Absolutely. And I totally agree that like there's stuff that if your house was legitimately on fire and you had to replace, like you could replace it for sure. Mm-hmm. But some would be hard. In fact, just a side note, one of my very first TikTok audios that went viral for my vinyl tags, one of the questions was, if your house is on fire and you can only save one record, what do you pick? And somebody stitched it and said that, my house did burn down with all of my records. And I was like, I was so like, I even commented like, I'm so sorry. That's horrible that happened to you. I really hope I didn't bring up trauma or anything like that. It was nuts. So
and then he blocked you and reported you.
Exactly. That person was Addison Rae. Yeah, it was.
Don't know who that is.
Addison Rae, Stooge. She's one of the most popular people on TikTok. She's one of those teenagers that does the dances. That's all. That's it. Let's move on to our next
Happy
question.
For her success.
I always feel like, so we are siblings, yes, but I always feel like I'm like your annoying little brother that explains pop culture to you. Anyway, let's go to our next question. This one is from our buddy Dylan, also known as My Wax Frisbees on Instagram. Give him a follow, everybody. He says, is there any record you wish you would have jumped on, but you said no, and now you regret it?
I know there is. I have to think of which one it was.
I'll tell my story because mine's triggering because I was very upset. So picture it. The year was probably 2015 or 16. And it was the most poor I've ever been in my life. As in, I have $20 to my name. I was a student and I had like a part-time job and I was living with my parents. And I was living with my parents, which is very, very nice. So I didn't have to like pay for rent, but I had like no money ever. And I was at the record store in Taylorsville and they had an album that is one of my favorites. And that album was Awaken the Dreamers by All Shall Perish. And it was $70. And I didn't have $70. I even was calling people and asking to borrow money because I was like, no. I know I was that desperate. And I wasn't like saying, hey, can I have $70? I was just like, hey man, $5 would like that. I swear I'll get the money to you. And then after and offering, literally I sounded like a junkie. Like I was like offering to do people's yard work. And so
other things,
I literally, hey, you gotta pay for the records any way you can.
Oh, really?
Anyway, I never got enough money, and it sold out.
Oh,
And I never saw it again.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So I guess it was a mix of I said no because I was at the store for like an hour on the phone with people, and I just never got enough money, and I didn't have any space on my credit card. It was a rough day. So.
I'm sorry.
The person out there who bought Awaken the Dreamers by All Shall Perish, I'm praying on your downfall.
So mine that just came to mind.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago when I first started collecting records, I was mostly buying like of like bargain bin stuff, you
Yeah,
know,
of
when I
course.
first started.
Of course.
Anything over $20 was like, ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And so what happened is a couple of years ago, Smashing Pumpkins like re-released the Siamese Dream.
Yes.
And it was only like 40 something bucks, $50 on Amazon. And at the time, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I could never!" But I had it in my cart because I would watch it because sometimes the pricing changes. Anyways, never really came lower than 50, and eventually sold out. And now, if I wanted to get that album, which spending $50 on the album still a lot, but now I'm like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I've got to that point.
You're in the addiction. Yeah.
I'm sure my wife's gonna be glad to hear that. She Anyways, now if I wanted to buy that album, I'm gonna be paying like $200-$300. So that sucks. So
Isn't that
that's one I
awful?
regret. That's one I regret. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is not getting Siamese Dream by Smashing Pumpkins. So
yeah, man, that's the worst. I feel like especially too. There's flippers out there for sure, but there's smart flippers that know what albums people are going to be nostalgic for, and they will like buy those up and resell them for fortunes.
I still think they're jerks.
They're awful people. Oh yeah, they're terrible people. The worst of the worst. But anyway. Anyway.
Yeah. That's I think that's the number one that comes to mind is that one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I actually have like a bunch that I've passed on that I regret, but whatever.
This is like another one of my things now too with collecting. I always say to myself, it's better to regret buying something than it is to regret passing on something. I've learned that. So.
And that's what leads us to financial ruin is that thinking. Because what's so funny is I understand that. Like nothing's worse than when you're like, it's just $30-$40, I'll have it again. And then you've got holes in your clothes and you're like, oh, whatever.
And you're pulling tricks in the back alley of Grey Whale and
Stooge, I'm still under investigation. You can't just bring stuff like that up. Our lawyer, the Deadwax Show lawyer, said to you specifically, do not talk about his trick turning in the alleyway.
I'm sure Grey Whale doesn't want to be associated with that either. There's no proof.
We just lost our sponsorship. No!
Please do not talk about
that the person who works at 3 Hive that said she was going to follow us just unfollowed us.
Yeah, Chris. Gosh. We went to 3 Hive, like, I don't know, it was like a week or two ago.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Chris, this poor girl's just trying to check us out. Chris is like, hey, we have a podcast. You should follow us.
No. I want to tell the story because
so
I thought
shameless.
It was genius. It was 100% shameless. Because here's the thing. Y'all ready for this? So, y'all ready for this? I knew who this female was because she runs 3 Hive's TikTok. So I was like, oh, this is the chance. Not for flirting or anything, for plugging internet content. So I was like, hey, I really like your store's TikToks. And she said, thank you. I actually make them myself. And I said, oh my gosh, no way. Here's the thing. I knew she did. It was all strategy.
You are conniving.
And so she was like, yeah, I make the TikToks. I was like, no way, that's awesome. They're great. Because they are, legitimately. I'm not playing that part up. And then as she's just like, scanning and taking things on the iPad, I'm like, yeah, we're actually on TikTok too. We make TikToks about records. And Stooge, I can already tell, is giving me one of those like, dear goodness, stop talking.
This poor woman.
Just shut up. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, this is my name on TikTok. That's his name on TikTok. And she goes, cool. And I'm like, yeah, we actually have a podcast together. I wasn't gonna let it go. And so she's like, oh, that's awesome. I'll check it out. And I was like, yeah, this is our username. You should listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. It's great.
And she was super nice too. She's like, yeah, I'm Chicken and Waffles Forever, and he's Vinyl. So she's like, oh, I think I've heard of those before.
I know, she was so kind. I seriously doubt she's heard of us, but she was so really nice. And I was shamelessly plugging. And then
she handled the situation really well.
My favorite part of this experience was when we walk out of the store and we're walking back to your car and you're like, oh my gosh, that was so shameless. And I was like, I know. I'm very well aware.
Yeah.
The Patrick Bateman of the online vinyl community. I am. Okay. Our last question. Last question. We actually got 2 people that asked very similar questions. So we're going to shout out both of them. First one is from our buddy Jerry, also known as Disc J Oki on Spotify, on Instagram. And then our other buddy's name is Brady, and he goes by Losing Gratitude on Instagram. Follow both of them. They're fantastic. They asked, favorite record you've been gifted or the record you value the most? So it could be one or the other. Whoa, just dropped my notebook. It could be one or the other. Favorite record you've been gifted or a record that is in your collection that you value the most?
All right, you go first.
Okay, because mine comes with a story. And guess what, everyone?
And some tears.
I've been dangling it in front of you this whole episode. It's this record right here. It's hard to invert. So this record, What It Is to Burn by Finch, was just given to me a few days ago by our buddy, the Big Shakuna. He is known as the Big Shakuna on all social media platforms, and he is also on Twitch as a streamer. He is the nicest dude on the planet. And on TikTok, he is our friend who also makes videos about vinyl records and stuff. So he has, and I'm not trying to boast. So you already think I already have a big head. Well, get ready. He's made a couple videos saying that when he started making TikToks, I was one of the first accounts he saw because I was making a video about Deftones, which we all know Deftones is one of the best bands on the planet, and it connects us all. So shut up. The Deftones are incredible. Anyway, so he started making videos about records as well. And then he and I connected and we started talking, and like this is literally why I'm siblings with my podcast host right here, is because it's the same thing. You connect with someone on social media, you mention something you have in common, and then all of a sudden you're eating burritos off each other's naked bodies. But anyway, so the Big Shakuna, I'm sure he's fine with me share his name. His name is Jeremy. He started talking to me on Twitter, and we were just talking about like he has a record I'm very jealous of. And that is the Conventional Weapons Collection by My Chemical Romance, which are easy $1,000. And so I was like, hey, Jeremy, I can't wait to come visit you someday and also drug you and then rob you and never see you again, because I want that record so bad. So he and I were talking back and forth for a while just about what some of the grails we have are. In the vinyl community, for those listening that do not know, grails, just like in any collecting community, are the things that you want really badly, but are they're either rare or they're expensive, referring to the Holy Grail. There you go. Now you're all caught up. And What It Is to Burn by Finch is one of my grails. Infamously, this album's only been pressed like twice ever, and it was humongous in the early 2000s for post-hardcore and for emo music. Fantastic album, literally perfect front to back. I've wanted one on vinyl, I think, for 8 years now. 7 years, somewhere in there.
Wow.
And
that's a long time.
They're usually $300 if they're ever on sale. They're never on sale though. So I've literally like seen them for $300, and I've thought about selling everything to buy one, but they're just hard to get. So I had just sort of like a few years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, just kind of given up on ever getting one. They're just more of like a cool idea. And so whenever I've seen people have What It Is to Burn, I'm always like, that's the best record ever made, man. Good for you. So a few days ago, I get a notification that the Big Shakuna has tagged me in a TikTok. And I was like, oh, it's Jeremy. I love seeing his TikToks. And he made a whole TikTok about how he, in a very sneaky and deceivious, that's not a word. Deceiving.
It is now.
Deceivious.
You just created a word.
Deceivious way. Very deceivious way.
Sean Connery again.
Exactly. He'll never leave. So in a very deceivious way, he talked to me about my grails and then got my address from me. And because he said he was going to send me a holiday card, which was a lie. The deceivousness, there it is. And he had talked through several weeks. His friends in Detroit he was able to finally get a copy of What It Is to Burn by Finch. And he even said that he traded some of his own records and used a little bit of his own cash to get that to me. And I actually did not know what record he sent. So he made this whole video about one of my grails, but he never said what record it was. And I actually didn't know because I kind of have a lot. And so that's so annoying of me to be like, I don't know which one it could be because I talk about a lot of them. But that was the truth, is that I didn't know. So then it came in the mail just the other day, in fact, on Christmas Eve. And I made an unboxing video that was very genuine. I had no idea it was in the record. It was in the box. And if you want to go on my TikTok or my Instagram, it is 2.5 minutes straight of me crying because
What's your handle again? It's right there.
you can ask the girl at Three Hive. She knows. Anyway, it was a very emotional moment because not only does this record mean the world to me, and I never thought I would ever have it, but it was so kind of someone I've never met in person to do this much effort, to go this far out of their way, to get that to me. Like even now I'm getting a touch choked up because it is seriously so kind of him. I seriously pray he did not pay $300 because that's insane. And so it was just such a big deal. I never ever thought I'd have it. Like I thought I would have $1 billion before I thought I'd ever have this record. And that's sadly not a joke, because they're just so rare. So that was a really big deal. So my dad's record he gave me, and now Jeremy's record he gave me, they're sharing the spot for favorite record I've ever been gifted, because it was such a big deal, and it was so unprompted too. I think that's why I especially got really emotional. He didn't need to do that, and it was really, really nice of him. So before I start crying, do you want to share yours?
Well, I mean, to be honest, like I don't really have anything. Nothing that even comes close to that experience that you had. Like I haven't been gifted a whole lot of records. Like I've won some contests and stuff where I've gotten them for free. But yeah, nothing like that. Like I said, I haven't been collecting a whole lot of time. Like the one thing that might be is probably cheating, but like for example, like that Led Zeppelin album I have that I got from a Kano Jam, that was technically my Father's Day present from this year, but like I'm the one that put it in the cart and checked out and everything, and told my wife that was my Father's Day present. And then like this one right here, you know that one.
Oh, there you go.
Like you actually bought this one for me. So yeah, I mean that's probably one I can think of because this came out during the No by November.
Yes, it did.
And if it hadn't been for Waffles, I mean I think they're actually still available. So
I think they are too. You would have been fine. You would have been fine.
But we didn't know. So you reached out to me and were kind enough to say, "Hey, I don't want you to miss out on this. Let me buy it for you." And I was like, "Okay, I'll let you buy it for me." So
nope, go back.
Nice
it took him 3 times. I tried 3 times to say I'd buy it for you, and on the 3rd time you finally accepted.
Yeah, because I felt like I was cheating.
Exactly. So accept the gift.
Accept the gift. That
accept
like a
the
metal
gift.
Band.
Ooh, that is a good name for a metal band.
Accept the gift.
Accept the gift.
So nothing cool like your story, but yeah,
that's a cool story. Still, we're not here to compare stories. That ain't what the Deadwax show is about.
You won this.
That
round,
is not
Waffles.
what the Deadwax show is about.
Round, but the war is far from over, my friend. I will
scream again into the microphone like I did before, like a goblin. Which hurt my throat, by the
way.
Anyway, yeah, man. It's the thing about like gifted records to me personally is that they mean a lot, because whether it was something you said specifically, I want this one, like, or someone gave it to you as a surprise, it is a cool thing in your collection to know that someone went to some kind of effort to give that to you. So I think they're cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let us know in the comments. What record do you want to give us? And do you need our address?
No, maybe share a cool story of a record you've been gifted. Jeez.
There you go.
But thank you everybody for sending in those questions. We appreciate it. It gives us something to talk about. So.
And yeah, seriously, thank you for those who submit questions. We appreciate it like none other, because if not, it would just be us being like, so you like tacos? So thank you very much. And the answer is yes, we both like tacos. Yeah. Tacos are amazing.
Yep.
I give this episode of the Deadwax show 4 out of 5 tacos.
Just 4 out of 5, huh?
Yeah, because I'm not with you in person to eat the tacos. So
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to go over or talk about for today's episode?
No, I think we covered quite a bit. Just looking forward to hopefully a better year in 2022.
Absolutely.
If you had a good 2021, I'm happy for you. Hoping we all have a better 22 though.
Absolutely.
Keeping our fingers crossed.
Keeping our fingers crossed and our fingers bent.
Bent and crossed.
Those of us that can. seriously, the Deadwax show will also continue into 2022, so expect all kinds of crazy things. Guests, live streams, perhaps a sponsorship at a Major League Football game. I don't know. Maybe.
Who would sponsor? Which team do you want us to sponsor us?
I would probably say the Michigan Titanics.
There you go.
They would be super good.
Call them up.
Yeah, but they're stuck on the ice.
What happened to the Seattle Leopards, or what was that other team that was interested?
The Seattle Leopards. So they actually got bought out by the Tacoma Lepers, like the disease.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's an interesting mascot to choose.
And guess what? They didn't have any skin in the game.
All right, maybe this won't continue on into 2022.
Jokes about leprosy are still funny in 2021. Maybe not in 2022. We'll see.
I
was very proud of that joke.
I could tell.
Anyway, as always, thank you to anybody that made it this far in the episode. We appreciate.
What's the code word this week?
Oh, the code word this week. If
leprosy?
You made it this far, yes, put leprosy in the chat. Comment leprosy if you made it this far. If you don't know how to spell leprosy, it's LEPROSY.
We only had 2 comment bananas last week. People are making it, man.
People are
last
making it.
Last week was long, though. This
yes,
one will
it
be
was.
A little bit shorter. We're really dragging it out here at the end with
my
the
gosh.
leprosy jokes.
That's a great sentence. Anyways. Thank you to everybody who made it this far. We appreciate you. And as always, thank you to everybody who listens to the Deadwax Show. You're seriously our favorite people on the planet, and we physically would not exist without you. Like the fairies from Hook. If we were to die from not getting attention, we would need you to clap. You should follow us on social media because we are the Deadwax Show. Oh, also our personal handles right here and right there on Instagram and TikTok. And you should follow the Deadwax Show also on Instagram and TikTok. We're hoping to make it into LinkedIn, but we'll see. They've got a lot of barriers against me personally. And as always, you can listen to the Deadwax Show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Please subscribe because it helps motivate us to want to be bigger, giant messes than we already are. Any final closing remarks, Stooge?
No. Close the show.
Mimble crimble, everybody.
Take us home.
Bimble bimble. Hope we all have great days. And as always, get out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. Bye, everybody.